Welcome to the University of Arizona Department of Chemistry and Biochemistry General Chemistry Safety and Orientation video. Part 1. Personal Protective Equipment. Personal protective equipment, or PPE, is meant to reduce the risk of chemical exposure to the eyes and skin. Once you enter the classroom, you should have on full-length long pants and completely closed shoes. Place your backpack in one of the classroom cubbies and wait for further instructions from your TA. Note that skateboards, scooters, or any type of bicycles are not allowed in lab. Once lab work begins and you cross over the yellow line, you must go to your lab station and don your PPE that is kept in your assigned drawer. This includes a 100% cotton lab coat buttoned at the front, goggles, not safety glasses, and gloves. A pair of scrub pants may be kept in your drawer if you don't wish to wear pants to lab. You must supply all these items yourself, as they will not be provided for you. Unacceptable attire includes shorts, capris, safety glasses, any footwear that exposes your toes or your heels, Crocs, bedroom slippers, deer foam or similar slippers, and Birkenstocks, to name a few, are not allowed in lab. Your shoes must be durable enough to protect your entire foot from chemical spills or punctures from glass or needles. You will be required to tie up your hair if it extends past your shoulders. Occasionally, your goggles will get foggy. When this happens, grab a goggle wipe from the top of the lab bench. Walk behind the yellow line into the entrance area, and only then may you remove your goggles to wipe them down. Finally, put your goggles back on and return to your lab work. Some rooms in Koffler may be warm and some may be chilly. If you find yourself in a hot room, please refrain from removing your goggles and unbuttoning your lab coat. Instead, go into the lab entrance area or the hallway for a short while to remove your PPE to cool off before getting dressed again and heading back to lab. If you find yourself in a cold lab, you may want to bring an extra layer with you. If you need to use the bathroom or quickly leave the room while lab is underway, then you should remove your PPE once you cross the yellow line and then get fully dressed before returning to lab. Failure to follow PPE protocol will result in a lower individual grade, and severe infractions may result in an inability to participate with the lab work. Please do not argue with your TA about the PPE policy. Part 2. Working with chemicals. In the lab, you'll notice a series of fume hoods. These hoods store chemicals you will be using for labs. They protect you from hazardous fumes, help contain dangerous spills, and store waste materials. Never remove a reagent bottle from a hood, or a spill could become a major problem. When taking chemicals back to your bench, use an appropriately sized container based on what you need. Whenever possible, choose a container with a lid and label it with the chemical name and concentration before taking it to the hood. When taking chemicals from a reagent bottle, double-check the label. Then, use a fresh transfer pipette to transfer the content of the reagent bottle into your container. When you're finished with your transfer pipette, dispose of it in the transfer pipette disposal jar in the hood. Remember to screw the cap back onto the reagent bottle and your container. Not doing so can cause a spill. When carrying chemicals back to your bench, be aware of those around you. Please exercise caution when in lab. Part 3. Waste disposal. If you have chemicals left over, never return them to the original bottle. You will need to dispose of excess according to the type of waste. If you're unsure of how to dispose of any chemicals, please consult the waste stream decision flowchart posted on the waste hood sash. Liquid chemicals must always be poured into the white liquid waste bucket. Make sure the cap is open and the funnel is properly attached before pouring. Please notify your TA if the waste bucket is getting full. The only thing that can go down the sink is the ice from an ice bath. If you have solid chemical waste, such as contaminated filter paper or solid residue, place it in the solid chemical waste container also located in the waste hood. If there is no solid chemical waste container present in the hood, then throw your solid chemical waste into the regular trash. This includes gloves, disposable plastic containers, goggle wipes, transfer pipettes, paper towels, as well as weigh boats and cuvettes. If your waste contains glass of any kind, or is a micropipette tip, it should go into the glass waste box that is located next to the showers and eye wash stations. Please refrain from putting paper or transfer pipettes here unless it contains glass. Part 4. Accidents. If you break a glass item, please immediately tell your TA. Each class has a brush and pan located next to the showers to clean up broken glass. Never use your hands to pick it up, as you could hurt yourself. Instead, your TA should come over and clean it up for you. If you break glass in the sink, you can use tweezers to take it out. If you spill a chemical, immediately tell your TA. The proper way to handle a chemical spill depends on the hazards associated with the chemical. Water-based solutions can be cleaned up by using a paper towel. This paper towel can be disposed of in the regular trash. If you have minor skin contact with a chemical, say a small amount of acid on your wrist, remove your gloves in the following fashion to avoid further contact with the chemical. Once your gloves are removed, immediately rinse your skin with water to minimize damage. Do this regardless if you feel burning, itching, or see redness. Do not use soap or chemicals such as sodium bicarbonate on a chemical burn, as this can cause further damage. Only use water and rinse for 15 minutes. Rinsing your skin with cold water is also the correct first aid if you experience a thermal burn. As with any accident or injury, promptly notify your TA. If you get any chemicals in your eyes, you need to rinse them immediately. To use the sink-mounted eye wash, simply orient the nozzle to your eyes and press the handle. Rinse for 15 minutes and keep your eyes open. To use the wall-mounted stations located next to the shower, push the lever on the side towards the wall to turn on the water, and pull the lever back to stop the flow. If you ever get chemicals over a large portion of your skin or eyes, you may need assistance to use the safety shower. There are 2 safety showers in each classroom. If you need to use the shower, pull down on the handle to start the water. Remove contaminated clothing as soon as possible. Rinse yourself for 15 minutes. To stop the flow of water, push up on the handle. If you are cut or burned or injured in any way, notify your TA immediately. A first aid kit is located just below the TA table in the lab entrance area. Your TA will help to administer the proper first aid. Do not show up to lab if you feel ill. Email your TA as soon as possible of your absence and inform your partner. Pay attention to how you feel in lab. If you ever feel unwell, return to the lab entrance area or sit down in the hallway to rest. If you feel that you may faint soon, then be safe and sit down immediately, even if it's at your lab station. We don't want you hitting your head in case you lose consciousness. After your accident or injury has been attended to and discussed, an incident report form will be filled out by you and your TA. Please note that in extreme circumstances, your TA may need to contact emergency services. There are 2 fire extinguishers in each lab. They are both near the safety showers. If you hear the fire alarm, unplug any equipment if possible and exit using the closest door, and evacuate the building using the nearest stairwell. Once you're clear of the building, make your way to the mall and find your TA. Part 5. General Lab Rules. You may have a closed drink in the lab entrance area, but you cannot take it with you into lab. But all food items are strictly prohibited. Please do not bring a personal lock for your lab drawer. Backpacks are not allowed in the lab area. Sitting on benches, listening to music, watching videos, texting, doing other homework, or horsing around are all strictly prohibited. You need to be able to hear instructions from your TA at all times. If you bring electronics to lab, they may be ruined by chemicals, so you should always use your laptop stand and never set your computer on the bench. Each lab in Koffler is shared by about 500 students every week. It is important that you keep the lab clean and tidy. Clean any shared equipment you use, such as scales, hot plates, ring stands, and the equipment and glassware in your bench's storage bin. And please use a damp paper towel to wipe down your station when you're finished. Make sure all of your drawer items have been put away and that no personal effects have been left behind. Please be kind, respectful, and courteous to everyone in the lab. This includes students, your TA, and staff. Working safely is important. Come prepared and listen to your TA. This ends our introduction to the Department of Chemistry and Biochemistry General Chemistry Lab program. So welcome and have a safe and happy semester.